Nothing worse when you're like so close to the
Yeah.
top, and then you just see you're like, oh, if I was just 10 points better, I could have $200,000 more. Instead, I have 5,000.
Yeah, 15th place, you still get $100,000. So there's 672,000 entrants at $25 is 16,816 with a total of 15 million in prizes.
So many millions.
So just by hosting that gambling circuit, that one gambling circuit, they make $2 million.
Yeah, I don't.
And you're doing nothing.
No, you're
basically.
doing nothing.
Software shit, and that's it.
That's why I never feel bad for the books at all when they get beat on anything, because they say, oh, for this, that, or the other reason, though, the books took a big hit. And I'm like, dude, look at the DFS market, okay? The daily fantasy market is such a racket because they set up these contests and they don't have to, sure, they have to upkeep the software, but they're just making money by doing nothing. And they're guaranteeing themselves, millions, which God bless. I want the entertainment. I want the fun. But, yeah, I don't feel bad for them because, I'd like to host a contest like that. I'd be entertaining when I'd do it. I don't know. I'd give the people some pizzazz.
Put in some fake players in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, yesterday I saw a Facebook post, and it was these are real players. These are real names of real players in the college football this year.
Mm-hmm. There's some guys watching. I'll try and think of it while you read these names.
One was for Georgia State, D.I.C. Hopkins. And that's his real name.
To have a hyphen in your first name is unreal.
This was not that big of a deal to me, but Luke Nigman.
I've seen a video of that guy. People trying to pronounce his name, and he's like, I know what blah, blah, blah just dealt with his whole life.
You got to be real careful.
Yeah.
The next one was General Booty. And this is where it gets good. Darylist Clark. Look at that, Blake. Darylist. Like, wow. And then this one, I've seen this on TikTok a good bit, but that guy.
Oh, that's the guy that I saw the video, not the other guy. That's him, yeah. Noah, everyone else, look it up.
There was a couple more in there that were that was all the ones
Someone
I
I saw, the coldest. I've seen a the coldest something.
Yeah. This is like his third year in college, I think, or something. The coldest. They be coming up with some shit, man.
Yeah, and just imagine though, like, yeah, I'm sure the dad, had a hand in naming him, and like, but imagine if your son doesn't work out as a football player, because that's what the dad or the parents were thinking at the time of. They're like, oh, we're gonna train him to be a super athlete, but just like imagine if he just ends up working at Schnucks, just. With the name tag, the coldest, that would be just so unfortunate for that guy.
And that made me think of, I've been watching this dude on TikTok who goes into like Walmarts and Targets and shit. And he'll be like, can you please call for and he always has some outrageous name. It always works. But one was like Mike Oxlong. Isla Vanel. And then the funniest one was the last one. He said, can you, blah, blah. He was like, what's his name? And he said, Gabe Owner. And the guy literally goes, paging for a Gabe Owner. And then he just stopped and stared at him like, are you fucking kidding? Dude started cracking up. Oh, that's some 12-year-old humor.
Yeah, absolutely 12. But it's such a fun, like...
Gabe Owner.
I need a gay boner up here. Yeah, my funny you say 12 because that's why I referenced myself. I think yesterday, or 2 days ago, whenever I was at my wife's grandparents' house, and they have a pear tree out there, and my wife was just taking me around the yard and like, oh, here's this, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they had a pear tree in there. So when we got back inside, I went up to her grandpa and I was like, hey, I see you have all them pears out there. I know they're not ripe yet, but I didn't know this was here. I can't wait to have some pears when they ripen up. And he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of pears out there. I get excited whenever them pear trees get to ripen. He said sometimes even before they get ripe, I go up there and I just start jerking them off and did the hand motion. And dude, I
didn't even get the actual context. I was like, what the fuck?
And so her grandma, her aunt, her uncle, and a couple kids are there, and my wife. And I mean, when he said, and he did the motion too. He's like, I just go up there even when they're not ripe, and I start jerking them off. I collapsed. And I was laughing so hard, and then like I saw everyone else was kind of snickering, but like he didn't realize, and he still doesn't know what he said because I just decided not to bring it up. And anyways, as we were leaving, her aunt comes out and is like, you know, oh yeah, I got it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm 12. I don't know what you guys want from me. I can't not just let that slide.
I was literally like, does that make them ripen quicker? You stroke them a couple times. Oh. Yeah. All right, so let's get to some NFL bets.
Yes. Okay, so here's my picks for my futures for the year. Not for this week. These are my season.
Now, how are you making these futures?
Okay, on flip. Oh, sorry. I have a bookie. I have a bookie that that I use for some of these, and then I have crossed the bridge to Illinois to make some of them. But you know, it's going to be legal, and they were talking about DraftKings was going to be in here before football season, possibly. But now I think they're saying like December, January.
Well, December 1st is the deadline date.
Okay, so December 1st.
But we were saying it seems like they're just kicking it down the road, so.
Yeah, that's
they might be able to make some extension or something. I don't know.
I
really
hope
think
so.
they'd want to get it going.
That's what I would think, is because they're greedy pigs. You know, why would you leave money on the table?
And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
And right now, you're just giving it to other states.
Yes, I drive over to Illinois.
Yeah.
So I had used that for one. So those are pretty much the two I use. And as far as like other wagers, I use Fliff, which you can use in Missouri, and that's like, you know, I just have a bankroll on there, and just, you know, I try and just keep it at $10 here, $10, and then if I really feel strong, you know, fluctuate that based on my confidence. So my season longs are I'll start the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. That puts you in a good position at 9-1 at the end of the year, because they're always in there. So even if you don't feel confident about their Super Bowl matchup, when they get there, you can hedge out of it. So if you put $100 on them and the payout is $800, they get to the Super Bowl, you can take $400 and place it on the other team, because the line's going to be pretty close. So you 400 to win maybe like 380. So no matter what, you're going to come out about $400 ahead. So even if you don't like the Chiefs, which I'm a Chiefs fan, that bet is just a good one, because you can get out of it possibly at the end of the year. But that is not really a hot take. I'm just, you know, that's, you know, just a plain Jane one.
Now that Travis and Taylor are engaged,
yeah,
I would put an infinite amount of money on them making the Super Bowl.
It is
just because the NFL wants to have Taylor Swift probably perform that thing so damn bad.
Yes, they would love that, and it's worth a couple more. It's worth a trip to the Super Bowl because of storylines.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. And it could be his last season.
Hey, just a quick sidebar on that though. If the Travis and the Chiefs do bad this year, what do you think that tarnishes Travis's legacy?
No, I don't. I think that if we figure out that he knocked her up over the summer, if she has the baby before the Super Bowl or right at the Super Bowl, and we figure out this is a shotgun wedding, then I think that maybe tarnishes his legacy a little bit, because he was not thinking about the game enough, and he was thinking about, you know, his dick too much.
I think you could almost say a little bit of that from last year. I think he was not taking football as seriously as before.
They were giving him the, we're just going to gear you up for the playoffs. Then when Rashee Rice went down, it was kind of like, okay, now we need you more. And
I wouldn't say he was geared up for the playoffs.
He had a down. He definitely
could just be getting old.
He is, and he balls hard, but he has said he is. I mean, he looks thinner. So he said he's lost some weight. He feels great, per usual. Everyone always says that. But he does look thinner. So that makes me think, well, maybe he wasn't in the best shape he could have been last year.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Super Bowl, I mean, we'll get to the Eagles later, I guess, in my notes. But that's an ass kicking, and he did not perform. No one performed well, but he especially didn't.
I do think I'm with you on, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I have a lot of bets made on the Chiefs performing better offensively this year, and including Travis Kelce. I have a good bit of him at tight end.
He is. I think he's a value guy, or he could be, because he's not. He didn't put up the numbers last year like Trey McBride,
and he still did put up solid numbers for a tight end last year. Just not your.
He would have some duds, but his big games were pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, so other season long, I have the Jags over 7.5 wins. I think they're gonna. I also have them to win the division. I think they're going to win the division. I think that Trevor Lawrence, if you look at all of he gets injured. When he does not get injured throughout a season, he passes for at least 4,000 yards, and he has all his numbers are just overall better. And I just think that the people they're just writing them off. And I'm just a big fan of Brian Thomas Jr. I'm a big fan of Liam Cohen. I think he can unlock Trevor Lawrence. But
everybody loves old Liam Cohen because of the Bucks last year.
Yeah.
What's the running back situation in Jacksonville?
They got they have Travis Etienne. He did not perform well. He didn't perform well last year, and Tank Bigsby kind of outsnapped him towards the end of the year.
And now everybody's talking about Bashal Tootin.
Yes.
Rookie.
Which weird football names earlier. Bashal Tootin. Football name. You don't want to be in front of that guy when he's running downhill, And I think they may do running back by committee.
Also heard they were shopping around, either trying to trade Tank or Travis.
That's because I think they have 4 running backs on the roster, and I guess if you're going to do. One thing I was thinking about on my way over here, running back by committee, does that ever work? Does it ever work? Because I just don't think of a playoff team or a team that won a Super Bowl. I mean, sure, if you have a good number one, a great number one, and a good number two, that's, fine. But these teams that run 3 or 4 running backs like regularly, I just don't ever think it works out. So
yeah,
I would understand if they
you want to get in the groove as a player. You don't want to just come in for 2 snaps and then out for 5 and then. I agree. So you think they're better than the Colts?
Yes.
Obviously the Titans. And then the Texans? You think that Jacksonville?
Yeah. In the AFC South, I have, Jags division winner. Texans, I just think they're just being assumed to win the division. They went with 10-7 last year in a bad division. CJ Stroud did not have his best year. Joe Mixon, he's out because he's having some off the field problems. I don't remember what it was, but Joe Mixon.
They haven't even really said, and that's what I had a ton of Joe Mixon at the beginning.
He was very good for me in fantasy last year.
And it's something to do with his ankle, and some people were saying he got treatment for it, like not doctoral treatment, some kind of.
Maybe modern, or what's it called? Eastern medicine, something along those lines.
Something's not good with it because they're talking about he might not even play this year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because when I was listening to one of the talking heads, they kept saying it was something that he did off the field to himself, and I thought it was a personal matter. But But either way, he's not going to be there, and I think that's huge because then they have Nick Chubb, who I like, but ever since I saw his knee completely go 90 degrees the other way, I don't know if he can come back from that.
As far as the AFC South goes, though, I think that this year Sam Darnold is going to be Daniel Jones. I think he's better than they say.
That would be NFC West.
Daniel Jones is Indiana.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking. No. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I thought you were talking. You did say Sam Darnold.
Yes, he's this year's Sam Darnold.
So you think that Danny Jones is going to put up numbers?
He's going to do well for Indiana.
Listen, if you look at it, I would agree with you. My wife's dad's a big Colts fan, so I have this inclination to be on his good side. So I root for the Colts, and his name, Danny Jones. Hey, it's fate.
They also have a much better wide receiver core than I think we give them credit for.
Yeah, Michael Pittman Jr., great.
Downs
loved
is
him.
up
Josh
and coming.
Downs.
Yeah, and then
Alec Pierce, fast little
Donnie Mitchell or AD Mitchell.
Yes, yeah,
that's pretty deep. And then their rookie tight end Warren is supposed to be.
I like him. I like Tyler Warren, and of course Jonathan Taylor. He's one of my. Last year I had so much of him in fantasy that it made me sick, but it also didn't make me sick because he was very good. But it was when he could have last year. He had a 256-yard game through like the first two quarters and like 2 minutes of the third quarter, and then they just stopped running him. I was like, he can go out there and get 50 more yards and break the record. But, I would say I think it's going to go Jags, Colts, Texans, Titans. Even though the Texans they do have a good defense, but I just think they're due for regression. And that maybe doesn't really make, a whole lot of sense. But I just don't think they can keep this up just sliding by on a division that I think is very close in talent. I just think it's going to be very close. But yeah, I think Jags then Colts. But yeah, I think Danny Jones, people are writing him off because, he hasn't been as impressive. But I like Shane Steichen. I think he's great. And with Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that's, like he did have Saquon Barkley. But I just think the Colts is a better organization now than the Giants.
Yes, the Giants have been very poorly ran for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So same thing with Darnold. He was on the Jets, who just can't get anything right.
No.
So he went somewhere else, and they're writing him off this year. He's not supposed to be. Like, they don't even project him to start all year.
So sticking to the AFC South, though, as a Titans fan, how do you think Cam Ward's going to do?
I don't know. I think he'll be okay.
Here's my Titans notes. I got notes written by every team. Is Cam Ward good? I don't know. I watched him in Miami. And the thing in Miami, those quarterbacks, you hike, set, turn, boom. But also, he was very impressive, though. He did that in a very good manner.
Let's say Carson Beck looked pretty good last night. So.
Yes, I watched that Carson Beck sidebar on him. He commits one of my cardinal sins of a football player, especially a quarterback, is he tries to be too sexy. He makes like the pucker lips, and he has like all these Snapchat pictures of like him like sending the girls. He said
So you're not a fan of Joe Burrow?
Well, whenever him and Jamar Chase wore those like assless chaps, I'm out. Hey, you got to win a Super Bowl first. Win a Super Bowl, then come out with assless chaps and like a sock over your privates. Yeah, Carson Beck's Snapchat picture he says he's making this sexy face, and he says, how about I show you this package, and we'll see how fast your calendar opens up.
Damn.
And he's just trying to be too sexy.
Oh, that's not even a sexy picture.
I agree, but he thinks it is.
My calendar ain't opening up.
Not for that.
Not for that.
It would open up for that Jake Hayner,
Yeah.
He's so sexy that he can't start.
Well, and that's the prime spot to be in, is just a career-long backup.
Yeah.
That's just the best quarterback. Backup quarterback. It's the best place to be.
Yeah.
One more thing on the South
Yes.
would be, I think I have a ton of Christian Kirk in my best ball drafts. I think Christian Kirk will do I think he'll do above what he's valued at right now. No matter what you think of the Texans, C.J. Stroud throws the ball a good bit, especially with Joe Mixon being hurt now. I think he'll throw it a little bit more. And we've seen them be able to support Tank Dell and Nico Collins. And at one time, those two plus Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
All three doing well.
It was, whenever those three were on the field, it was very good. It was a well-oiled machine.
And so they're going to need somebody to throw. I know they got two rookies in Higgins and Knoll. But especially at the beginning of the year, those two aren't going to be doing as much.
Yeah.
So I think Christian Kirk is primed for a spot where you might think just an old veteran, but I think he's going to do better than.
I would agree. Yes, I do agree because I was at the game when Tank Dell when he had that injury and he's not coming back at all this year, and so you have Nico Collins who is just. When I was at the Chiefs versus Texan game, I mean. I would just I pick some plays just to single out watch him, and he is just so good. He can get the ball at any point.
Who are you talking about?
Nico Collins.
Oh yeah, I'm drafting a lot of him this year because I think a lot of people have said just projected through your nerd stats that he is the best at getting open, running routes, yards after catch. He's very, very good.
And so if I foresee a lot of doubling on him, and that opens the door for Christian Kirk.
Yeah, as a slot.
Yeah.
They call him the slot demon.
Demon.
That's what the head coach called him this year, was a slot demon. So high praise for the slot demon.
High praise for the slot demon. So do you think who do you think's going to win the South?
I would probably go Texans.
Yeah, listen, it's very possible, and the Jags could shit the bed, and I would have an egg on my face.
Jags always they're
they
good.
Jags.
Yeah, they look very good, and then that's what they did last year. Just lost like 4 of their last 6, I think.
Yeah, a guy I work with, he's a Mormon. And he's a big Jags fan, and that's like his team. So
didn't the Jags lose a playoff game and they were up like 30-3?
No, they vice versa. They played the Chargers in the playoff game, and
even worse.
Yeah,
the Chargers.
Yeah, they were up 3-30 at halftime.
The Chargers are the mature version of the Jags.
Of the Jags, yeah.
They do the Jags thing, but they just do it better.
Yeah, and I mean that's Trevor Lawrence's shining jewel is that he led a comeback, being down like 3-27 or. I remember
watching that and just being like, "My God,
that was crazy." That was absolutely
okay. What's
unreal.
your next bets you got?
Okay, so we will go. Oops. Okay, we'll go to the AFC we'll go to the AFC West because would be my next one. I have Chargers, and now I made this same wager last year and I lost. So keep that in mind. Chargers under 9.5 wins. I just think that I did it last year, and I'm kind of spiteful that I got burnt last year because I believe they won 10 games. And the Rashawn Slater, I think that injury is very big.
Yep.
And because here's what happened. He plays the same position as the Chiefs left tackle did last year where they had problems at.
Weak spot. Very weak for the
Yes,
Chiefs.
and what happened was our left tackle, the name escapes me right now, got injured in training camp, and people were like, oh, that's fine, fill it in. No, it was a problem all year. All year it was a problem, but because of some of the pedigree that the Chiefs have, they were able to, work around it. I just don't know if I think the Chargers are going to be that good and be able to get over that hump without Rashawn Slater there. Now I love Joe Alt and I love Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is he's a football guy. He's just like Gruden. That's what they think about football. So I do love him, but yeah, I just think that injury is big. And also in fantasy, Quentin Johnson is almost going undrafted. He's going in late, not 10th round. I picked him up in the 10th round last night, and I think in the 9th a couple days ago, but he's just going so late. And he's the wide receiver too, no?
Yeah. I've drafted a ton of Quentin Johnson, especially at the beginning of the summer. And then I was also drafting Keenan Allen before he was signed.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
haven't drafted him
me
now, but he's not even supposed to be. He'll be a third. He's not going to play every down.
Yeah,
role.
his Bears venture was disappointing because
most players' Bears ventures are disappointing.
Yes, they are.
Is Donovan Smith was the tackle?
Donovan Smith, thank you.
And
yes,
the refs just picked on him game after game. Bless his heart. I felt bad for him at some points, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rashawn Slater news has a lot of people thinking a little bit less of them. Also, we just got done talking about how the Chargers are the evolved form of the Jaguars.
Yes, the mature version of
so
the Jets.
they'll always let you down. So that's probably a good point to bet the under there. Also, maybe Justin Herbert just isn't as good as we just continuously say that Justin Herbert is.
Yes, and I want to believe in him so badly, but, it's just he's like a year ahead of Trevor Lawrence, I believe. And it's just the same thing where it's like you haven't won anything, you don't perform whenever, all last year, Justin Herbert's only thrown one interception, all year. Or his interception to touchdown ratio was like 10-1 or something. Anyways, it was just so much talk about how he's protecting the ball. He gets in the playoffs last year against the Texans. He throws 3 picks. It's like, come on now. So when things like that happen, I'm like, I don't know if I can believe in him. So
Marion Hampton as the running back too.
A lot of people saying rookie of the year running back. Is Najee Harris just not gonna, he fireworks in his eyes? I guess he's blind or something, but
they're saying he could be ready for week 1 though.
Yeah, so I'm a lot of people are Marion Hampton rookie of the year, and I just am not.
I haven't drafted a lot of him either.
I just don't believe it's just suspect. It's like what's the MLB saying? Prospects are just suspects until proven otherwise.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about him. Which like he's he has good talent, but which I'm not a fan of Najee Harris, so I would probably just roll the dice on Hampton as well. But yeah, a lot of hype on Hampton and perhaps, but I just don't see them getting to 10 wins. So that's all I got on the Chargers.
I think that's probably a good bet as well because you got the Chiefs, obviously.
Yes.
Broncos should be even better than they were last year. Bo Nix, another year older.
Yeah, and
Sean
there's
Payton
the sophomore slump, but I think Bo Nix is maybe really that good.
I think Sean Payton's pretty good too as a head coach.
Now Sean Payton is on the board. He's on the bulletin board of the Chiefs because after them getting the doors blown off by Buffalo, he said, "Yeah, if we could have beat Buffalo, I liked our opportunity. I liked our chances in our second round." It's like, well, you would have been playing the Chiefs in the second round, and and how well did that work out for Buffalo? So, do you think it would have worked out better for you? Yeah. No, Sean Payton, but I respect it. I respect him, even though he's a villain. Broncos, speaking of the Broncos, RJ Harvey, what's up with him? I keep hearing that RJ Harvey, they're going to hand the ball to him like 300 times this year. But I'm just so unaware of their running back room, but I just see him going in like the 4th round.
Yeah, and I never take him.
I never do either.
I take J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I like Dobbins.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of people saying now that RJ is going to probably start off the year as a second string, get introduced as the year goes on, But they also, I guess Sean Payton's got a history of kind of sticking with one guy. Mm-hmm. He's more of a one guy type of guy, unless you have like a thunder and lightning like Kamara and Ingram, which these aren't. These are both basically pretty similar players. And then he also doesn't play rookies as much as some other coaches. Mm-hmm. At his draft position, I'm not a RJ Harvey guy.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm not.
I don't watch a lot of Broncos though. I don't ever see them on TV, so I can't say a lot about like Cortland Sutton.
Yeah,
I like
him.
Evan Ingram. I love Evan Ingram at Jacksonville. So,
and I like the cornerback, the big from Stingley's on the Texans. He's the cornerback of the year on the Broncos, best cornerback in the. Gosh, this is
Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain, thank you. Cut all the dead time out. Gosh, I'm an idiot. Patrick Surtain, yes. He has the whole wide receiver room. He has all the wide receivers in NFL trying to figure him out. I was watching a camp of Justin Jefferson's camp, or maybe it was Jamar Chase. But anyways, Jamar Chase, I think Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, they're all talking about how they're going to beat Surtain. The guy's like, no, if Surtain's on me, I'm going to step this, this, and this. And the other guy's like, no, it's not going to work. And I'm just like, wow, he has all these wide receivers.
He's in their head.
Confused. He's just living rent-free.
He's one of the very few people when it comes to like DFS, when you're picking your lineups, if you're going against the Broncos and you're the wide receiver matched up against him, you're like, damn, do I want to pick him because
he's going to be on
down. Yeah.
And then other thing in the West, I think this is my last wager in the West, would be Chiefs to win the division at -110, almost even money. So I just, they've done it for 9 straight years. This will be year 10, but there's just so much hype on all the other teams, which I just don't, listen, I'm here for it. You give me good odds like that on the division, but it just blows my mind that they're not the runaway favorites. They're saying that they have just and maybe they could lose it, but 9 years in a row, it's, I think, -110, but pretty much it's almost even money. Yeah. So like 55 would win you 50. Yeah. I just think it's I think it's a good wager.
The Chiefs are basically what Tom Brady was, where it's just like, you don't have to like them, you can hate them, but when it comes to making the playoffs and winning in the playoffs, you just can't bet against it.
So that's my AFC. I guess, I'm not a big Genty guy.
That's my biggest stand of the year. Is Ashton Genty is just going to be mediocre at best. First of all, the Raiders won't be good.
Bad offensive line.
I don't think they'll be terrible, but they won't be good. And so we're going to have one of maybe what people are calling the best running back in the league on a team that's going to be behind every game.
Yeah. They're not going to. You're going to have to throw it because you're going to be behind a lot. I don't really believe in that.
He also played at Boise State, so it's not like he was running against Alabama and Georgia.
No, and when
he's running against North Dakota State.
And when he got to play those teams, like when they played, I think they played whenever they played a Power 5 school, he would get to 100 yards on 35 carries. That's 3 yards a carry roughly, and so. He was great when he played, the group of 5 schools, like in the mountain. I'm with you though. That's my stand. Also, I don't touch him at all. I just can't believe that I couldn't believe he went 4th, or I couldn't believe he, went as high as he did, a running back. But maybe I'm just not a ball knower. We'll see.
But in like fantasy drafts. A lot of people are picking him even in the first round.
Yes.
You're picking him over Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving. Like no way am I picking.
No,
I haven't picked any of him this year just because of that. Also, he played college on a blue field. I mean,
love the blue turf.
For God's sake.
Love the blue turf.
I can't watch that. In high school, I used to think, dude, that's dope. But now I'm like...
You don't like it?
No. It's just an eyesore to me.
I enjoyed it when all the college is wrapped up and I'm like, I don't want to go to bed. And then I just see a Boise State game and I'm like, oh, it's 11:30, let's go. Yeah. And I'm up till 1 watching the freaking blue turf. Yeah. Okay, I guess since this is our first one, I kind of want to just hit all the divisions and then... just so we cover all of our bases, and then obviously don't always have to do that. But let's go to AFC. Well, Chargers. Okay, did all that. AFC North. Tyler Loop. Does that mean anything to you?
Never heard of
He's a kicker in the AFC North for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Now, why is that? Where's Justin Tucker at?
He's at the massage parlor.
He's at the massage parlor getting,
He's jerking off them pears.
He's jerking off the pears. I go up to them pear trees and I just start jerking them off.
You would think at this point most NFL players would just stay the hell away from massage parlors.
Yes. And 16 massage therapists from 8 local spas shared horror stories. But also, and Justin Tucker's like, no, this is not true, but he's not appealing it. He's not appealing his suspension. But also, like, he's not being charged with anything other. This 2012 to 2016. Hey, ladies, speak up a little sooner, would you?
He's also like, hey, ladies, I'm the most accurate kicker there is. Why don't you come over here and
I can shoot it in you
massage
from a
my
distance.
third leg?
Yeah, so I feel so, I just hate that his Ravens tenure has ended, but also I believe he got the yips at the end of the season, and, but yeah, so Tyler Loop, a name to look out for, and maybe he'll get a massage sponsorship.
He's got
whatever.
You need some coffee? He's got a big shoes to fill there.
Yeah.
So what's your
okay. Browns, as far as who's gonna win this, I really don't know. Of course, Ravens or Bengals. I couldn't really find a way to get down on either of those teams. The Browns, too much of a wild card. Don't know. If it was going to be anything, it would be Steelers over 8.5 wins. It's juiced a little bit, minus 150. So, I mean, you got to wager a little more to get a little more back. But I just, Mike Tomlin, 500 season, just take it. It's a good, it's a good thing. As far as any takes, Bengals, is the defense going to be good? I don't. It's a question. Rodgers, I love him. Cam Hayward, now this sucks when you get to this age because Cam Hayward said, oh, you're going to pay TJ Watt all this money? I'm going to sit out. And the Steelers were like, no, we're not going to pay you. And he's like, I'll make my way back to practice then. So I hate that his holdout didn't work, but he's old.
Yeah,
you can't get that raise when you're that old. But I guess it doesn't hurt to try. And then the last thing, and then you can elaborate on any of that. The Browns. Here's what we need to remember about the Browns. Love Joe Flacco. Love Shador. You should not be a fan of Dylan Gabriel because I have pulled up an interview, and this is when I've been out on Dylan Gabriel ever since this. He is doing an interview when he's at Oregon. Oh, let me see.
Being good in situational football, not for the coach talk, but it's just the reality of the situation. But we love the Rose Bowl. We love warm weather. I think we should play more football on nice grass instead of the artificial stuff.
Okay.
And the more sun, the better. Why do we do it to ourselves? Like, do fans want to sit in the snow and the rain? And
yes.
Let's just make arenas. Let's make domes. Let's do grass. Let's do more fireworks at games.
Now, there's more where he just says more blasphemy, but I'll keep it to that. That is almost communism. Do I want... Last year, the Browns played the Steelers in Cleveland, and it was snowing. And if you go Google Jameis Winston slow motion touchdown run, you will see him in the snow, and you see his eyes light up big. He's hitting moves. He's spinning. He jumps into the end zone. Snow's flying everywhere. It's one of the best clips ever. And if you play football in domes, you don't get that. So no, football should not all be played in domes. Shut up, Dylan Gabriel. You don't love football as much as me. And so that's my thing on him. And listen, if you want to play in a dome, sometimes some stadiums have domes, fine. But a blanket dome, no, I'm against it.
That starts to feel like arena football at that point to me. I love the games sometimes are shit, but it's like fun shit.
Yeah, yes, agreed.
And you're both experiencing it. So it's, I think that's pretty fun. All right, so my take on those is Ravens are my favorite to win the Super Bowl. I think it's about time. I think Lamar Jackson just gets better and better every year. And Derrick Henry did great. But their offense was amazing last year. Last year, is that when Zay Flowers fumbled against the Chiefs?
No. That was 2 years ago in Baltimore.
What happened last year?
Last year they got beat by the Bills.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Bills are also very good. Bengals, Ravens. I would definitely have to win the division. I don't think the Bengals defense is good enough.
Yeah.
They're going to lose games that they probably shouldn't, just because of that fact. Browns, they are the Browns.
Yeah.
And then Steelers, I'll love 8.5, just because, like you said, Mike Tomlin. I also think, as much as Aaron Rodgers annoys me now, he's probably still a really good game manager, because that's not something age really takes from you.
Right.
And
that's what the Steelers
I would say he'll
need.
probably sneak out a couple wins that maybe Kenny Pickett wouldn't be able to.
And Russell Wilson and the infamous moon ball.
Yeah.
So here's so much about the moon ball and Russell Wilson. But I think he can will them to 9 wins, or Mike Tomlin can coach them to 9 wins.
I think that seems pretty straightforward to me. I'd have the Ravens to win it and Steelers to above 8.5 wins. I think those are both pretty, especially Steelers. I really like that one.
It's definitely the Ravens to lose. I will agree with that. It's the Ravens and then everyone else in that division. Last one in the AFC is the AFC East, and the same story with the Ravens. It's the Bills to lose. I mean, it's the Bills. Now the Bills to win the division are like minus 250. It's probably minus 280 or minus 300 now, but. So that's essentially you have to wager, $300 to win $100. But what I've seen a lot of people do are they parlay it, like, so Bills and the Chiefs to win the division, or Bills and something else, just so it gives you better odds, because it seems like the Bills are just such a lock to win that division. That's real. And I just the talent discrepancy is just so crazy. And the Jets, can Justin Field throw? I don't know. I think I feel bad for Garrett Wilson, because I think he's such a talent, but I just don't know if Justin Fields can be that guy. Dolphins, they're break dancers. The Dolphins are break dancers. Now, this is not my take. I'm copying this take, but it's such a perfect one, is that they're break dancers. They're cool to look at, and they do some cool things, but, like, it's not intimidating. It's just not. They can't play in cold weather. Everyone knows that. But Devon Achane, he's good. And I'll draft him 10 days out of 10. He's very good. And then my hot take is the Patriots. They're not finishing second. They're not making the playoffs. They are not 5 or 6 wins better than they were last year. They're just not. I love Mike Vrabel, and I guess maybe as a Tennessee guy, you do too. I love him. He's a football guy. He gets in the huddle, and he'll get down in a 3-point stance, and he'll try and run you over. But I just don't think the Patriots are as good as they're being talked about.
What's the Patriots win total?
I believe 8. Let me think. I think it's 8.5. Patriots win.
Yes, it is 8.5.
Yeah, and so like that to me is just too high. I don't know, and I mean I love Stephon Diggs, but I just think it's too early for all of this for the Patriots.
Yeah, this division is a little confusing to me, just because there's a couple question marks there. The Bills are obviously good. I think their offense is probably a little overrated. Josh Allen's amazing. I think James Cook is a little overrated. And then Khalil Shakir's pretty good. The rest of their
wide receiver is, who are they?
Yeah. Yet to be proven. Dalton Kincaid as well.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are a question mark, just because, I don't know, something feels weird there. They've been talking about Tyreek's,
Yeah. I mean, he ended the season by saying, I'm out of here, or I got to get out of here. And now he's not. So that's like, what's going on there?
Patriots, I don't know how good they are. Drake May gets a lot of praise, and I don't know. I just don't watch them, I don't guess. I don't see him being like a very good quarterback. I do love Vrabel, though. I wish the Titans would have never let go of that fella. Then the Jets, I know a lot of people are actually pretty high on who's the quarterback?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields. And I saw a lot of stats comparing him to Dak Prescott last year, and he performed better than Dak Prescott did.
I think the Steelers should have wrote it out with Fields over Russell Wilson. I just think he's more of a threat, but they did not. But yeah, I think
it's also Lamar at the beginning of his career was a better passer, but he wasn't a very good passer. He's now becoming a really good passer, and that just makes you a stud. And if you could get the same kind of thing out of Fields, man, he would be really, really good. Exactly. Jalen Hurts, the same way. Jalen Hurts at the very beginning of his career, probably more like a Jalen Hurts. Very good runner, not the best passer, but as time progresses, you get better and better. Just sadly for him, he went from the Bears to the Jets, so I don't have high hopes that they're going to mold him into a very good quarterback.
No, it's
I think it definitely is easily the Bills to win. Yeah. I just think there's a couple question marks there that you never know what could happen.
So the wagers in here that I would say, of course, the Bills win the division, but I don't have any. I might do the Bills and the Chiefs to win. I'm gonna try and get some more stuff, maybe down by Thursday, depending on. We'll just go off vibes. But Garrett Wilson's touchdown number is 4.5. I think over that easily. He's gonna get 5 touchdowns. So, and then the Patriots, I would just go unders on them. But
yeah, I think that should be more like 6.5. I would think.
Yeah,
that seems pretty easy.
That's what
especially
I think.
Their second is Josh Reynolds, I believe.
That's wow, yeah, because Devontae's not there. Oh wow, that's brutal.
And their tight end is a rookie as well.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I think that's a pretty easy one for me. I wish I could make these.
Well, you can do Prize Picks. Prize Picks does like.
I didn't think Prize Picks was in Missouri.
Yeah, you got Prize Picks, Underdog, and
but on Underdog and DraftKings right now, all we can do is parlays.
Yeah, yes,
you can't even do season long on those.
Yeah, on Prize Picks you can do season long. It has to be they have to be parlays.
Okay.
But
you can't do season long.
You on Prize Picks you can, yeah, or the DraftKings Pick 6 you can do season long on there.
So. All right, what you got next for me?
Okay, going to the NFC. NFC North. We've got the Lions. Dan Campbell. Listen, they're plus 140, I think, to win the division. Listen, I know Ben Johnson is great, is great, and he's gone, but let's not forget Dan Campbell molded Ben Johnson into what he was. Dan Campbell picked him.
Dan Campbell's a man.
He is a man, and he'll bite your kneecap off. He's maybe my favorite coach outside of Andy Reid, for different reasons, but Dan Campbell is man, and he is a leader of men. And he picked Ben Johnson from Miami to be on the wide receiver, one of those side coaching jobs in Miami. Then when he went to Detroit, he brought him there and said, I want you to do this. And Ben Johnson's great in his own regard, but Dan Campbell, he gives you the vibe of a defensive guy, right? Because he's a man. But he's a tight end. He understands offense, and I think they're going to be fine. But the biggest news, of course, is the Micah Parsons trade. And I think that does change things. You can't say it doesn't. So I'm really uncertain if it's the Lions or the Packers this year, because I love Josh Jacobs so much. I think I love 2 years ago, I drafted him in fantasy in all my leagues, and it was his last year on the Raiders, and he had one of the worst seasons of running because the Raiders and their offensive line is terrible.
He is underrated because he's not flashy or anything. He's just a pretty solid dude.
Yeah, bell cow back. Love to see it. I think big things are on the horizons for him, and he got paid, so he's not worried about money. The Vikings, I just can't believe in J.J. McCarthy. Listen, I liked him at Michigan, but they didn't throw the ball a lot. He did what was asked of him, and you can't hold that against him. But Brian Flores, he has a great defense. I I just don't know about J.J. McCarthy and the Bears. I gotta see it to believe it. You got Dennis Allen from the Saints as the defensive coordinator, and I know he's a defensive guy, but let's not forget who Dennis Allen is. He's a nothing personality, and he's just I just don't like him. But
I see the Bears as every year people talk up the Cowboys how they're going to be so much better this year.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the same thing about the Bears every year, just like how much better, how much improved they're going to be, and then they go out there and they got 5 wins, 6 wins, and you're like, yeah.
The Bears have won
about the
over their win total one time in I think 12 years. Whenever Lovie Smith was there, that was the last time they went over their win
of statistics on Caleb Williams where he's not that good.
I don't think he's that guy, pal.
He looked better than he really is. Passing, percentage, being open, and all that, accuracy, all that. He's just not that good. He could be better this year, I guess, but. Yeah. Once again, like you said, it's prove it or
it's prove it. Yeah, I gotta see it to believe it.
Luther Burden, Roma Dunze.
Yeah, who? Yeah. I mean, I know who they are. I was a fan of both of them in college. Luther Burden, Mizzou, Mizzou Ra. But yeah, and I believe in. Listen, I love that. What's Ben Johnson said? Took a shot at the Matt LaFleur and said, "Oh, I'm just excited that we get to beat the Packers 2 times a year." And Matt LaFleur's like, I don't even know him. Why did he say that? But it's just good for the rivalry, Love rivalry talk. And I love that Ben Johnson hates the tush push, and just for, he's very opinionated, and I enjoy that. But as the Packers, though, the problem with the Packers is Matthew Golden that guy?
And I don't think he is either.
I drafted the one.
First of all, I don't think Jordan Love is that guy. I think
think so?
I think he's solid. But I don't think he's put you over the top.
Right. So he's a good. You'd say good.
I would favor the Lions over the Packers strictly just off of the quarterback there.
Yeah.
I don't think Golden's the guy. I drafted a shit ton of Jaden Reed, and now he has a Jones fracture in his foot.
But he's going to play through it, he says.
That doesn't make me feel any better, though. So he's just going to be out there on a bum foot for the whole year. Doesn't sound good. So I've been drafting a ton of Romeo Doubs now. What else did I wanted to say about the Packers there? I think Micah Parsons is a phenomenal defensive player, and I think he'll impact games. I don't think that's a game changer for me.
Yeah, I mean, am I surprised the Packers made him the highest paid? I mean, that's what he was going to get from someone, but it's just a lot of money, to be, paying to Mike. And I'm sure his back issue is going to be better now. You're like, oh, he had a back issue. I'm like, I think he just had contractitis is honestly what he had. I don't think he was really hurt.
A lot of players do.
Yeah, and then J.J. McCarthy, do you believe?
Hell, I don't know.
Yeah,
he looked good in the preseason 2 years ago, so maybe, or last year. So maybe he's good, but.
Yeah, but it should be a good division, though, all around. Well, I mean, if the Vikings are,
he's not going to perform like Sam Darnold did last year. So
no,
they should be worse than last year, I would guess.
Yeah. So the only wager I would say I'd take from here is the Bears under the win total, just because it's 1-12 in the last 13 years or something along those lines.
And you have 3 solid divisional opponents there
that are just going to run it, shove it down your throat.
Yep. With a solid defense with the Packers and Vikings. And the Lions had improved last year, and they could improve
Aiden
more
Hutchinson's
this year.
back.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, excited about him.
He went number 1, didn't he? He was a number 1 draft pick? No? He was very high.
He was very high. He may have been number 1. We'll have our man Blake. Shout out to Blake on the keys. On the 1s and 2s. So yeah, I think outside of that, that's really, there are some question marks, but the NFC North is pretty straightforward, I guess. Either Lions or Packers, and then, everyone else. And then I guess NFC South, I've got, to me, it's the Bucs division to lose. Saints are in cap hell. Saints drafted the first round You're good. No, what pick?
Number two.
Number two. God bless you. Number 2.
Who went number 1 that year? Baker?
Sorry. Bucks goated. Panthers, are they good? Question mark. Everyone's hyping them up like they are. Falcons. The Saints cap hell. The Saints drafted Tyler Shook, and they're not even going to be starting him. In the first round, they took him. And then the Falcons, the Michael Penis is just such a funny... There's a video of a fan calling him, Michael Penis. And he walks up to him as they're getting ready to walk through the tunnel, and he says, "What'd you just say?" And the guy looks at him and goes, "Michael Penis." And he calls his bluff. And Michael Penix is like, "Hey, don't say that." And then just walks away. And I'm like, "Oh, you just got alphaed."
Yeah.
You thought you were going to come over.
You heard me.
Yeah.
You heard me.
Yeah. "Oh, I've got a do-rag. Look at me. What did you say?" "Michael Penis." "Hey, don't say that." Oh, he got alphaed. But yeah, I love Bucky Irving over 10.5 touchdowns. That's something to put in your portfolio. Love that. I was thinking maybe Falcons, Raheem Mostert, Coach of the Year, just because that's an interesting market, because Andy Reid's never won Coach of the Year, and he is who he is, which is just crazy to me. But so it's like it's an award where it's like it doesn't go to the team with the best record, but Raheem Mostert's like, he was at one point, he was 30-1, but I think if they're good, maybe he wins Coach of the Year. I don't feel strongly about that. But yeah, I love the Bucks. Everyone else, I love Bucks and Falcons. Panthers, Bryce. I don't know. A lot of question marks here with these quarterbacks that you just don't know about. Like, he looked good after he got benched and came back, but I just don't know about Bryce Young.
This is, to me, as far as my takes are best ball takes. So the NFC South to me is probably my favorite. It's the most fun one, I would say. Yeah, Buccaneers to win. I think that's pretty easy, I would say. I do think they'll regress a little bit. Their offense probably won't be as efficient. I think they're going to be high scoring. So I love Mike Evans. Egbuka is a little nervous to me just because he's a rookie. But at the beginning of the year, especially, those two should go off just without Chris Godwin's out. You've got Kate Otten is hurt at tight end.
And they have another wide receiver.
Yeah, McMillan is also hurt. So you're going to be in 3 wide receiver sets. Sterling Shepard, who's very old at this point, is going to be your 3rd wide receiver. Loved Sterling Shepard back in the day.
Yes, he was the man.
He's just old now. And he's continuously hurt. That's why he's never really been that great in his career. So that's the Bucks. This is actually where I think it gets even more fun. The Falcons, when you looked at Penis last year, he wasn't great, but he put up numbers in those last 4 games. So I'm hoping he does that this year. I think Drake London will be better. And everybody is finally off the Kyle Pitts train, and I'm staying on that bitch, and I'm going to ride her out this year. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be much better this year.
Listen, yeah.
And this is I think the 5th or 6th year in a row that he's had hot takes on him. And the last 5 have went terrible, but everybody's off of him this year, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be something, hopefully. As long as Penix does what he did last year. Panthers, Bryce Young is somebody I've drafted a ton of, especially earlier in the summer. He was going almost at the very end of drafts, and I thought, hell, it can't get much worse. I also drafted a lot of Thielen with Bryce Young, who is now on Minnesota. And then I started drafting a ton of Jalen Coker.
And then he went on the IR.
Yes, now he's on IR. So now I'm drafting Leggett, who I don't have much faith in. But
that's Leggett.
Yep. And then Jatavian Sanders, the tight end for the Panthers. I don't know, maybe something. Saints, as far as draft capital goes, I've got a good amount of Kamara just because he is just a solid year after year, dude. Even last year, people were starting to say he's old. I think he was 5th or 6th in points for fantasy. And then Chris Olave is somebody that we've really thought is a solid wide receiver. I know he's got a couple marbles loose in his head.
Yeah,
too many concussions.
Derek Carr's led him into 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, just obliterated over the middle of the field, and
but
I feel bad for him.
He is still the wide receiver 1 on a team that is going to be losing the majority of games. So I see some production there, and so I've drafted a good bit of him just because he goes really late. Like he's going around second and third wide receivers in their own respective offenses, and he's clearly their number 1. Rashid Shaheed is also a decent deep bomb threat.
Yeah.
But I like Olave there. So I think there's a lot that could surprise people in this division. I don't think any of those 3 teams besides Bucks are any good, but they could be surprises fantasy-wise. They'll be fantasy relevant at least.
So I should have asked you, out of the whole South, who would be your must draft in fantasy? Or like your favorite, I guess.
Well, depending on where they go, obviously that the draft position is relevant there. But Mike Evans is my favorite, one of my favorite wide receivers this year, especially where he goes at. I think he's going to be. He's always good, always 1,000 yards.
He's going to have 1,000 yards. They were going to make sure that they get that.
And I think
every
Godwin's
year.
going to be brought in very slowly. I think so. I think he's going to be their main focus. Bucky Irving is one that makes me a little nervous, honestly, because he's a smaller guy.
Yes.
And I don't know if they're going to just make him their workhorse.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I've drafted a lot of Rashad White because I think we've forgotten he's pretty solid.
Yeah,
dude.
and I see him. I scooped him up in the 11th or 12th round.
I
People
drafted a lot
forget
of him.
about him like he's nothing. It's like he's something.
Yeah,
he's still got something.
Very good receiving back, for sure.
Bucky Irving is he's like a shorter version, like build wise, of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
and
he's
that,
like 190, I think, or something. 196.
Well, he's a bit, the TV, makes you look a little bit smaller.
Well, then pads do.
Yeah.
Make you look bigger. But so I don't know. I have sometimes in drafts I'm drafting Bucky and saying this guy's going to be a stud this year. Sometimes I'm going he's either going to get hurt or he's not going to be an every down back. So that's one that makes me a little nervous at his draft capital.
Oh, and Tet McMillan, what about on the Panthers?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he'll be solid. I think he'll be especially now with Coker hurt and Thielen gone.
Definitely
Hell, they got to throw to
workload.
somebody.
Yeah.
So
okay, I guess South. Yeah.
But if you look at Puka Nacua, and I'm only saying this because of the Hawaiian name, hell, McMillan might be pretty good.
Listen, speaking of Puka Nacua, I love him. I in the NFC West, the Ram. I mean, there's my take on this. I think Puka Nacua is a great pick. I love everything about him. People are, have been like, because of Matthew Stafford. I don't think he was really hurt. I think they signed the contract, and he was like, hey, him and Sean McVay were like, listen, I don't want to do like the whole training camp because I'm old, and he probably is banged up a little bit. But he's like, I'll be fine. He knows the offense. He's a veteran. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Isn't that basically what Brady did at the end of his career?
Yeah.
Like, no preseason whatsoever.
And hurt, but whatever. It's like, no, he's veteran enough to where he doesn't need that. So I think he was fine. So I think all the Rams guys, I mean, Devontae Adams has still got it. I mean, when he came to the Jets last year, even though Aaron Rodgers wasn't performing his best, I think Devontae Adams had a couple good games where I thought he looked good. I think he's still worth.
He's another one of those
stock.
High IQ guys, and you don't lose IQ,
right?
So I think he will still be serviceable as a wide receiver. Wide receiver too. Puka Nacua, I don't even understand how he's that good, but he is
somehow.
He's that good. But yeah, the Ram and Stafford, I think, is fine. Back problems aside, I think he'll put up numbers. He goes super late in drafts again. I know he doesn't put up any rushing stats, but when you're in a pretty high octane offense, I've drafted a good bit of him, and I think Kyron's going to do.
St. Louis boy, shout out St. Louis guy.
Kyron? Oh, okay. I like him too, and he got that big contract. at the very beginning of the year, I was a little nervous on him just because I thought they might want to play Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter a little bit more. But then they give him a fat contract, so I'm like, yeah, they like Kyron, so they're going to be playing him. So I have plenty of him too.
Cardinals. Here's what I hear about the Cardinals. I just hear this is one of those teams where it's every year. It's like, oh, the Cardinals, watch out for them, playoff team, blah blah blah. And then I just have to hear about Kyler Murray playing Call of Duty too much whenever the new Call of Duty comes out, and then his stats go down. And so I hate, poor him for that's the stigma for him. But he needs to do something, because if he doesn't do anything after this year, I mean, he's just really done nothing, but he's gotten paid like he's done something. But the cardinal sin of a quarterback is just being short. It's just hard for me to back you when you're just short. And I don't know if you can fully see over the lineman at the line of scrimmage. I just don't know if he can. And Marvin Harrison, love him, love his dad. But, just hopefully, I think he'll maybe have a better year this year. But I do love him. But on the defensive side, I mean, I think they brought Calais Campbell back. But really, it's just a bunch of people I'm not sure on, and I don't really know that well on defense. I know they drafted some guys, and so I don't know. I'm uncertain about the Cardinals, but I do love James Conner. Every year he's been a bell cow. But last year they did give some carries to Benson, I believe, so he may get out, get some of his snaps taken. But I think he's a good, maybe flex guy, or pick him up or just sit him on the bench until need be. So yeah, not much on the Cardinals for me. Seattle, is Cooper Kupp, is he dead or no?
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose. Hanging on.
Got plenty of him.
Well, okay. Listen, I would love it. I just don't know. Because what happened with him on the Rams? He was just like, he just couldn't get open or something.
He definitely decreased in his athleticism.
But he also wasn't the one anymore, so he wasn't getting that first look.
Yeah.
Which is always how it's been his whole life. So, and then Seattle, Jackson Smith and Jigba, like him now that DK is no longer there. I think he'll be, a good one, young, quick, big body. And people have forgotten about Sam Darnold. I think I may have, but I just don't know. I don't know what I think.
Seahawks are going to want to run the ball a lot more this year, but with Kenneth Walker, every year you're like, man, this dude can just take the top off of he can just run it.
Yeah.
But he's also pulling a hamstring or twisting an ankle every other game. So I think they're going to have to pass more than expected.
Yeah.
And I also think Darnold is better than what we give him credit for. So that's why I think Cooper Kupp will be probably better than we are projecting him for. I'm not going to say he's a Cooper Kupp of old. I just think he'll be better than where he goes in drafts. Especially, I think he'll get to play a good amount of the slot with Njigba out wide. So I think he should be able to get some easy targets there too.
And who is the backup running back for Seattle? What's that?
Charbonnet.
Yeah. His games where Kenneth Walker was out.
Yeah.
Charbonnet came in his first game, I think back-to-back. I think it was a 30 and a 40-point game or vice versa.
Yeah, he's good.
He came in just 30, 40. Then they said, okay, back to the bench. And I'm like.
Yeah. And when Kenneth Walker is active, I don't know, they like him more than Charbonnet.
I mean, I guess, hey, listen, maybe I'm not a ball knower, but I like what I see from Charbonnet. And then 49ers, I couldn't really extrapolate. I mean, you could pick them to win the division, I guess, but the ultimate thing I'm banking on is CMC being offensive player of the year. I'm hoping people are like going for him last year and ignoring Saquon. Well, I'm thinking the roles are flipped, and I think, you can get a good number at CMC Offensive Player of the Year. So I like him. And Brock Purdy getting paid. He got paid big time for being, the last pick of the draft. I just can't believe he's getting $55 million a year. I mean, he did lead them to the Super Bowl, and he left the field of the Super Bowl with the lead. It's unfortunate that he was going up against Patrick Mahomes, because you just have to have the ball last if you're versing him. But he he said something last year in the interview like, "Oh, last year I was trying to do too much," and I can't remember the cadence he was using, but the way he was talking in this interview was just I don't know. I think he was getting a little too big for his britches, but honestly, what do I know? I'm just quarterbacking from the couch. But I think he's good. I don't know if he's $55 million, but I guess someone would have gave it to him. And then their wide receiver room is a travesty right now. Brandon Ayuk out. Ricky Pearsall got shot. I don't know if he's that good in the first place. They got Jawan Jennings, who's trying to sit out for a contract, so who knows if he's going to play. And then they traded the Chiefs for Sky Moore. And anytime you're trading for Sky Moore, you're in a bad spot because Sky Moore has led the league in drops before. He's just he was a early second rounder for the Chiefs. He just never panned out. And I'm glad to see him off the Chiefs because he just worries me anytime I see him on the field.
I think 49ers had a little bit of bad run last year. Yeah. McCaffrey hurt. Ayuk hurt.
They finished last in the division.
Debo pissed off.
Yeah, very mad Debo.
So there was a lot of things not exactly going their way. I think they'll bounce back this year. Also, think McCaffrey will be healthy all year and just be a stud. That's definitely my pick in that division would be the 49ers for sure. Cardinals, nah. Seahawks won't be any good. I just think they're better than what we think they'll be. Rams are just Rams. They're solid. They could, for all I know, they could end up, making it to the championship round of the playoffs. I think they're good enough to do that. I just don't think they're the best.
Yeah. I was really hoping they were going to beat Philadelphia in the conference in the NFC Championship because I was like, oh, the Chiefs will pick them apart.
Yeah,
because they're so injured. But I love that Jared Verse on the Rams, that defensive end. He was giving it to the Philly fans. He was hollering at them. He was walking around in the snow with his shirt off. I don't care about this. I love him. So be on the lookout for him. He's great.
All right, last division,
NFC East. Eagles. I just have boo because I'm a Chiefs fan. So boo them.
You hated that last Super Bowl, then.
I know it was, but I'll see him in this Super Bowl. Best 2 out of 3,
okay.
Hopefully. But I mean Saquon. He is Saquon Barkley. But I think he's going to be due for regression because they gave the ball to him almost 400 times from the season through the postseason. And that's just a lot of carries. I don't think they're going to use him as often, but maybe I'm wrong. But they're just stacked all around, both sides of the ball. They have some rookies on defense, but their offense is just great. They're the Super Bowl champs, rightfully so. So they should be elite. The Commanders, too much hype. We talked about this. They're too much hype on Bill Jaquaski Merritt or whatever, but he goes by Bill.
Ja'Cory Crosky Merritt.
Ja'Cory Crosky Merritt reminds me of Jaquaski Tart, the guy that I don't know. He's the reason Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl with the Rams. I think Jaquaski. The thread is escaping me now, but whatever. Virtual reality, they keep talking about Jaden Daniels is putting through this virtual reality. I enjoy that. I enjoy that he's got a headset on and they're sending things at him at 2 times speed. It makes sense to me that things are slowing down for him. The Giants, Abdul Carter, love him, but I don't love him when he tried to get Lawrence Taylor's number. He said, oh, I'll wear 56. And Lawrence Taylor's like, no. Yeah. Make your own mark. And that to me just off-put me because I'm like, I understand being confident in yourself, but dude, that's Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Go watch a highlight reel of any Lawrence Taylor and tell me you're deserving to wear his number. But their D-line should be good. And then how about them Cowboys? Jimmy Johnson and a facelift. I love George Pickens. He's my favorite receiver to watch. Absolutely. I think he's great. And I love Dak Prescott this year in fantasy. I think he's going to pass for 4,000 yards. And, there's kind of like my first initial thoughts on the division.
I think, which this is always an entertaining division, basically just because you got America's team in there. I'm pretty high on the Cowboys this year just as an offense, not as a team. I don't ever think they're going to go anywhere as a team. They're just a letdown. But I do think, especially with Parsons gone now, that defense is not going to be very good. And that's going to lead to Dak can put up some numbers.
Yeah.
Dude can put up some numbers. Might not win the games, but he puts up numbers.
Put them up.
So I love CD. Pickens, I think he will definitely break out this year as a pretty solid stud. I think you're going to get to see a little bit more of that freak athleticism he has playing with an actual quarterback. Who else? The Eagles. I definitely think I would probably have the Eagles in the Super Bowl again. Offense and defense
They're
is
so
just
good.
solid all around. A very they got depth and just super mad skill at each position.
They do. And Jalen Hurts said he's not putting his Super Bowl ring on. He said he's moved on from it.
Okay.
So he's just in case anyone was
I will.
wondering.
That was the most. Every time, even like in the last months, if I'm like, oh yeah, that Super Bowl, I'm just like, damn. Like that was the biggest beatdown I've ever seen.
Yeah, they dumped Gatorade on Sirianni in like the third quarter.
It was the biggest beatdown I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like just in a regular football game, I was like, holy shit, let alone a Super Bowl. Giants, I want to see Jackson Dart get out there.
Hey, Jackson Dart, Mormon.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And he went to Ole Miss, huh?
Yeah.
Figured that'd be BYU.
That's a school of sin.
Yeah. I would like to see Jackson Dart, especially with Malik Neighbors.
Love Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
Yeah, his touchdown numbers at 7.5. I really like that.
Unfortunately, he'll probably end up going the way of Odell just because you play for the Giants.
Yeah. And you got Russell Wilson, the moon ball.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the moon ball.
Let me tell you something. He sucks.
Yeah. Bad.
For quite a few years now. And then the Washington Commanders about went another route there. I think they'll underperform what we think of them. Jaden Daniels is spectacular, but I don't think he'll top what he did last year.
It'd be hard to. He was really good.
Yep. I think
the bar is very high.
Sadly, I think Debo's pretty much done.
Yeah. I
He's just a bruiser. Dude is a bruiser,
Yes.
and you can't do that all the time.
No.
And then Terry McLaurin had an incredible year last year, and I don't think he'll perform up to that standard as well.
No, I mean, glad he got paid, but, you had to pay him, I guess, because he is clearly the best wide receiver on there. But, yeah, he's 31 or he's 30 or 30, about to turn 31.
I'm glad he got paid. He probably deserved it just for being kind of the face
commander
of the
for
Commanders.
life. Yeah.
But was he worth it? I don't think he will be. As far as running backs go for the Commanders, I think that's a pretty. You talk about Bill. I am on the boat of Eckler is going to get the same role he had last year, which was a pretty solid role that we're all undervaluing. So I have tons of Eckler. I took a couple of Ja'Cory Cross-Kamara, but just to have a little bit. But I think he's way overvalued. And I think there's a chance that Chris Rodriguez is the first and second down back. And then he just mixes in. Merritt does a little bit, and then you've got Eckler as your third down.
And they have Brian Robinson Jr. still.
No, he got traded.
Oh, where did he go?
49ers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So I think Chris Rodriguez is your dark horse, as you can draft him in the very last round of your draft and be like, damn, I got a decently solid player for – he's not going to be
right,
stud.
But for the value of where he's going.
Yep.
Sometimes undrafted.
Yeah. But I think that this is easily the Eagles division. Solely on the fact that if the Cowboys weren't the Cowboys, they could probably put up some competition, but they will.
Cowboy out.
Yes, they will. And that's all the divisions. So I guess we had some pretty good takes there.
Yeah. I think so. The Cowboys thing. My family's all Cowboys fans, and so just it's very funny just growing up, around them. But like when first of all, the documentary, it's called the Gambler, Jerry Jones and his Cowboys, and or no, I'm sorry, America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. That's such a Jerry Jones title. Everything about that is so funny. But I got a call from my dad. He's like, "Do you see this, effing documentary?" He's like, whenever the whole Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer thing went down, he's like, he's just going on a rant. He's like, "Oh, it's brought up so many bad memories," and he's just, ever since that, in the mid late '90s, the Cowboys have not been right since. Ever since Jerry Jones got rid of Jimmy Johnson, and so yeah, I mean, I want them to be good, because it would make some members of my family not so miserable. But
they're still solid. You could have a worse. You could have a worse.
And I think they're primed to make the playoffs. I mean, I have not put my money where my mouth is, but I really do think they could get in there just based on because it'd just be so Cowboys to just like get there again and then just lose in dramatic fashion.
Yep. Especially if Washington underperforms a little bit, then I think they have a pretty easy path of at least making the playoffs. Might lose first round wild card, but playoffs is the playoffs, and at least you're making the playoffs.
Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs.
That's right. I have a fun little. I was watching a YouTube yesterday, and it was talking about first I wanted to say that Jerry Jones, you can talk a lot of shit about him, but he owns an NFL team. And if I owned an NFL team, I'd do whatever the hell I wanted.
I would be the general manager.
Yep. I would be like, no, this
one.
is my team.
Yeah.
This is what I do. Like, I'm not just an investor who sits off to the side. I'd want to be a part of it. Like, that's what we all do. As a little kid, you literally played a game and you wanted to be the GM. So, good for him for doing what he wants to do, even if it's not the most successful. The scenario was you are basically the NFL owner of the brand or whatever. You buy the Canadian Football League, per se, to add it to the NFL. You've got to take out 4 of the teams from the NFL. What 4 teams are you going to get rid of? Now, the players obviously just go into free agency and can be signed by anybody. You just got to get rid of 4 teams. What teams are you getting rid of?
I guess I would. Man, that's tough because some of these teams that are so bad,
they have been historically good.
Yes,
you don't want to get rid of that history.
I can't get rid of a historical one. I guess the Cardinals. I get rid of the Arizona Cardinals. I think. 4. Do you have a 4?
I think I have 2 easy ones, and they're both in the South, AFC South. Texans, they're new.
Yes,
never been great. So I'm getting rid of the Texans, getting rid of the Titans because I don't want to. But this isn't me. This is I work for the NFL now.
Yeah. Business.
Titans have never been really anything great. They played the greatest show on turf and lost. That's about like what they're best known for is losing to the Rams by a yard. And so I got those 2. I would say, obviously now they're good, the Bengals. But historically, never been great.
No.
Not an iconic brand of football. So I'd get rid of them. The last one would be pretty tough, but I think I'd probably give it to the Cardinals as well. They have had some good history, but that'd be my 4.
Yeah, I'd say that I had that third team because I would say the Texans, I guess the Titans, I guess I'd sign off on that. And then the Cardinals, and I guess just to be different, I'll say I can't do anyone in the West.
Blake, what's your take?
Yeah.
I'm taking Cleveland out.
That was my first thought.
I will say Cleveland needs to go.
Yes.
It just blows my mind as a team, as a brand. You fucked the Deshaun Watson trade so bad. Worst contract / trade in the history of football. And then like this year, he's still on your team, by
Yeah.
the way, and can't even play, and you're still paying him. You signed 2 dudes. I haven't even signed one of them, who have domestic assault on their record, and like you're just like all of you sexual abusers, domestic
Come
abusers,
here.
like we're here, we're open. Like, man, you just tarnishing your brand as much as you can.
Yeah, it's not. It's like it's good for the brand.
Kareem
because
Hunt.
That's what
Kareem
they-
Hunt
yeah.
was another one they
Yeah.
signed. Just Ray Rice. Like, can we get him out of retirement?
Yeah,
and
bring him
in?
back. He should be on the coaching staff. The Browns are brutal, man, and I just feel so bad for the Browns fans because that Deshaun Watson contract is one of the worst contracts in the history of sports, and he is just. I saw him on my wife's watched the Selling Sunset show. The real estate, big-titted whores sell real estate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I watch.
No, I've seen it. Who are you about to say?
Deshaun.
Oh, was he on there?
He was on there. Yes.
Johnny Manziel was on there.
Yes,
one
he
time.
was on there too.
Yeah.
Love to see old Johnny boy. Didn't watch a single second of tape, but he got out there and slung that rock.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Manziel, who's another. And that's the other thing the Browns are infamous for. They can't draft for shit.
No.
And if they do, they're terrible there. And then you
And
got
then they
Baker
leave.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely a good one to get rid of. And do they have a great history? I don't know much about the Browns' history.
I don't know much about the Browns either. And
Also, their name is Browns.
Yeah, but I think they have the worst branding, marketing of any
Ever,
team as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean,
And in their new mascot, instead of like the bulldog or whatever, it's the elf, Brownie, the elf.
Yeah, Brownie, which is, I'd rather you go like the sweet treat way than like have this guy as like Brownie.
Our team mascot is a brownie.
Yeah.
Not even a cosmic brownie, just a
No.
brownie. It's not even like a mascot. It's literally like a pillow, looks like a brownie, just sits there on the field. It does no cheering or nothing. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, that one's it. Okay, well, I just thought that was fun to kind of think about.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. And I know we're gonna get an expansion team from either overseas. They're gonna do something, and it's gonna piss me off because it's like, dude, keep it all in America. But I know that's the globalization of the sport, yada yada yada. But it's like it's ours. Come on now.
And before we get off, we got the Thursday night game, Cowboys and Eagles as our opener. Super excited. We got Friday football in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Chiefs and Chargers. And my 2 bold predictions. Maybe not bold, I don't know. I think the first one's pretty bold. I got the Cowboys beating the Eagles. And I think it's going to be high scoring. CeeDee Lamb's going to be my captain on Showdown. I think it's going to be I think he's probably going to go off for like 40 points. I'm saying like 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. What I think CeeDee's going for.
I love that. I hope so. I'm a Cowboys fan on Thursday night.
When it comes to showdowns, I'm a bold player. I make my prediction, and I'm going to put a couple bets on it, but in a little bit different. But it's going to be, I make a stand when I make a stand.
Well, yeah, 'cause if you're right, you get rewarded.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. If I'm wrong, I make $0. But and then second game, Chiefs and Chargers. Last year we played there, and it was a shit show. The turf was terrible.
Yeah, it was Packers and Eagles.
Yeah,
Jordan Love got hurt on the turf. Or whatever it was.
They're playing in a different country. B, it's on a Friday. I think it's going to be super low scoring and a pretty boring game. I think so. If anything, you might have some defenses. I think Pacheco. I love Pacheco this year. I think he's going to do good. I have tons of Pacheco. So I think the Chiefs are going to win, and I think it'll be low scoring and kind of boring. So factor it that way. That's my 2 takes on the first 2 games.
Okay, I was hoping if Micah was going to be in, I was definitely going to be like Cowboys win, but honestly, now that he's not, and I like it even better because I like to just be contrarian a lot of the times. And I could listen banner night, and a lot of teams, the Super Bowl hangover is real. That first game, Whether, I mean, it's not like they're not giving it 100%, but for some reason, historically, I mean, the Chiefs, I think, have only lost one time out of their Super Bowl, the first game after the Super Bowl win. But really, every other team does not usually start off the best after a Super Bowl victory.
The Eagles are 7.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
So I would definitely bet the under on that. But I would bet the Cowboys outright winning at 300.
Yeah, it's a good number. I would, and you're through a key number. So if you take the 7, you get covered if they lose by a field goal or just
even a touchdown.
Yeah, even a touchdown. The other thing I wanted to ask your guys' opinion on, was I'm in Splash Sports. This is in Missouri because I like Survivor leagues. I've always wanted to do, and I did a couple last year, but I got knocked out the first week in all of my Survivor leagues because of the Bengals. I picked the Survivor. You know what it is, Blake? Okay, so Survivor League is I'm in this one. There's and they do for $5. There's 10,000 people in here, and the grand total is $50,000. So you just pick one team to win every week. You pick one team to win. Spread doesn't matter. Nothing matters. But you can only use them once. So if I pick the Eagles on Thursday, I can't use them the rest of the season. So pretty much you just need one pick a week, and you just have to make it. And if you make it to the end, or it could be over by week 10, if everyone else is eliminated. And then you just split the pot. But I am trying to find the team I want to pick for my Survivor League, and I don't know yet. So I just need a team to win. Do you have any thoughts, Blake? Initial thoughts?
No, but where you can do that in Missouri?
Yeah, Splash Sports. They've got a deal done with Missouri this past year. So they have contests and stuff you can do.
What's the buy-in?
Just $5.
Okay, yeah, I may
yeah, it's pretty fun.
That.
I did it last year, and I actually made it. There was the first 3 weeks were crazy last year. I remember. I'm pretty sure that Bengals that knocked out 58% of, and that's week 1.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure by week 3 or 4 there was only 12% left, and I was in that, and then I think I lost the next week, and I was like, ah, damn. But just looking at it super quick, I think I would pick the Cardinals. I don't have much faith in the Cardinals, and I'm not going to want to pick them very often this year. I would imagine. And playing the Saints in week 1, I know it's at the Saints, but that seems like a pretty easy place for me.
Kyler Murray versus Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
that's initially what I think.
New Orleans has no ambitions of going anywhere this year, so that one looks pretty good.
They have,
and I don't want to waste any of my good teams, that I feel more confident in.
Yeah, because I think the 3 I had I was like, okay, I almost went back to the well on the Bengals because I'm like they've notoriously start out bad, but this year they're so hammered down on we're not going to start out bad, and I'm like surely they can't burn me again. So, but I think I'm going to stay away. The Bengals, I like the Cardinals and the Commanders against the Giants, but, and I like the Bucks over the Falcons, but also it seems a little volatile for me.
Broncos over the Cam Ward in his first start.
Rookie quarterback, like that.
At the Broncos, solid D. I like that one. Yeah, a couple of these other ones. Ravens-Bills will be a great game Sunday night.
Oh, I know. We're getting some good week 1 matchups. The Ravens-Bills, then the Vikings-Bears on Monday night. I like that one. Lions and Packers, week 1. I mean, we're in for a treat this Sunday, boys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals-Saints. I can't believe the Cowboys-Eagles is a 7.5-point spread. I think that's, I'd put that at 4.5 is where I would have that at.
Yeah, that's the best way. That's one of the like tricks of like when you're wagering is like before you look at the number, what would you make the line?
Yeah.
And so then if you say 4 and then you're looking at 7, you're like, oh well, I would take the whoever. But yeah, I think that's what I'm leaning towards.
Here's another good one.
If
in fact Tyreek Hill has been hurt, I think he was at practice yesterday, but if Tyreek Hill is out and Devon Achane is also a possibility of being out, if those two are out, the Colts over the Dolphins is a risky play, but it gets you Colts out of the way.
Yeah, and you get every other team saved.
Yeah, I think that would be a decently smart one. You can also, I think, in some of those leagues, you can do multiple entries.
Yeah. This one, I'll get your.
Yeah, I literally just downloaded it. So, anyways, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah.
I had fun today. Maybe we'll start doing this every week.
Yeah, I'm glad we went through. I know it was kind of longer than we were talking about originally, but I am glad we went through all the divisions. I just like I said, I don't talk football with anyone, so I'm glad I get all this off my chest, and we can. I'm definitely down to do it if we can, do it weekly. That'd be great. Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings or whatever, or if it's bi-weekly, whatever. But yeah, I'm down to do that. Then I guess we can figure out where if we want to just make our own channel and do it like that. That's fine. But yeah, this was great. Excited. Football's here. We made it another summer. The pigskin's here. Who cares about, Israel, Hamas, Ukraine, and Russia? That stuff's not important, boys. This is the stuff that matters right here.
I will say I've invested a lot of hours in the last month or so on some football, so I'm finally ready for it to start. My wife is ready for me to stop counting down the days till it does start. So maybe we'll come up with a name for this in the future as well. But it was fun to do it in the morning. Got a nice fall weather starting to finally get here, so we're on the way. But if you did listen to us ramble about football for this long, we appreciate it.
God bless.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Love it.